Welcome to Vintage Paper Tales number 15. This little piece of needlework was stitched more than 200 years ago by a girl named Marcy Hay. Her sample dates to 1814, and like many schoolgirl samplers of the period, it wasn't created simply as decoration. Young girls used samplers to practice the skills they were expected to learn: careful stitching, letters and numbers, decorative borders, and sometimes verses or family information. In a way, they were part school assignment, part demonstration of skill, and part personal record. But take a closer look at Marcy's alphabet, and you might think she made a mistake. There's no J, and there's no U. But Marcy didn't accidentally forget them. On early American samplers, alphabets often contained fewer than the 26 letters we use today. I and J were sometimes treated as versions of the same letter, as were U and V, a holdover from an older alphabet tradition. So an alphabet that looks incomplete to us would not necessarily have looked incomplete in 1814. And that's one of the things I love about old samplers like this. They weren't made by professional artists. They were stitched by girls learning a skill, one tiny stitch at a time, and more than 2 centuries later, those stitches can tell us something about how they learned, how they wrote, and even how the alphabet itself was taught. For my journaling card, I used Marcy's sampler image as the focal point and layered it with a vintage book page. And apparently, Marcy wasn't the only one who could make something that looked like a mistake, because once I had everything glued, I realized I had attached the entire thing upside down on the book page. Like Marcy's missing J and U, mine actually was a mistake. So I ripped everything back off, flipped it around, and glued it down again. Maybe that's another reason I enjoy working with these old papers and imperfect handmade things. 200 years ago or today, handmade doesn't always mean perfect, and sometimes the mistakes just becomes part of the story.